here we are.
Yes, we are.
I'm Roger Gandini.
And I'm Carl Damigella.
We finally got it right. Yes, mothers will be proud.
And the gentleman in the middle is Mr. Robert, the Mayor Blair from Mudville. How are you, sir? We are here to bring people up to date as to what's going on with the big buzz around town. This is the biggest buzz around town since Jake Hagan started keeping bees down in East Holliston.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
The 7 Wonders of Holliston. Your brainchild that you started out of, I don't know, I guess you were home thinking one day.
Think tank. He's in the garden on his ladder.
The think tank of Mudville.
Yep.
Oh, gosh. And just the whole premise behind the idea of the 7 Wonders of Holliston is it was sort of a partnership joined by both Holliston Net News and Holliston Cable Access to sort of arouse the curiosity of the residents of Holliston to get a contest going and have the viewer and the writer participation for both groups to nominate what they think should be the 7 Wonders of Holliston. And right now, we have before us, is you've handed us a list of nominations that have already come in. And what people can do is what they can write into Holliston Net News, and we will put that graphic up at a later date to give their nominations. But we want people to pay attention very carefully because we're only going to take one nomination of each one at a time.
Right. Now, Bobby, just what are the ground rules, real quick? What can people pick?
A place or a thing.
Not a person.
Pretty simple. A place or a thing.
Well, we're out of it, Carl.
There you go.
Anyways.
You'll have to wait till next year.
And I understand that it can be either man-made or natural.
Correct.
Oh, okay. So now we've got quite a few already, Bobby. Here.
We do. We've had 37, and hopefully people look on Holliston Net News, and hopefully at the bottom of each article we'll list them, and that way we won't have duplicates, because I have had duplicates. So if we'd like to...
Yeah, so
before we begin, though, so people know that they're not sending in the nominations for nothing. What we are going to do on the Holliston Cable Access side is we are going to give a sticky beacon, a special sticky beacon. Right. These will be one-of-a-kinds.
Collectors.
Only there'll be as many nominations as we have. But,
and you will not have to share a shirt.
Once the shirts have been given out to all the nominees, we will not be reproducing these shirts again.
Right.
So don't spill ketchup on the front of them, or because we're not going to give you another one.
I don't want to see them on eBay either.
No, no. And I understand that through Holliston Net News,
we will be giving to all those who send in a nomination a 5-pack of Holliston photo cards.
All right.
I tell you what.
And then what we're going to do is, once we get down to the final 7, we will be giving through sort of cooperative efforts, a plaque of the winning nomination, and plus we were going to somehow affix some sort of a plaque to the winners, the final 7.
And it'll be seven winners, so we'll have 7 plaques somewhere in the town.
Right. Now, it can be groups, too. We want to let people know that Mrs. Smith's 6th grade class can nominate.
Actually, we have one. We read them later. We've got 2.
We've got 2.
2 classes have sent in. So,
for heaven's sakes.
Now we're getting
that's my Irish coming out.
Patty's Day is coming up.
Yeah.
Yes, it will. We should probably tell everybody that this is not the first show about this. This is actually our 2nd show. We did a show on Holliston happenings, and that's sort of a segue to Roger, because when he starts reading his list, 2 of the nominations that he has was on the Holliston happening.
Well, let me read the first 6 of my list. Like you said, there were 2 on there that were nominated that we covered in the previous show. Fisk was nominated, excuse me, by Holliston Net News, and Casey at the Bat by Chris Beeling. So we already had those 2. And now here's some new ones. Balancing Rock with M.
Balancing Rock and Fisk's General Store
That's
were
right,
on our
too.
first
That's right,
store,
too.
yeah.
With Joanne was standing in front of
And
it.
I should just give you a little clarification. The Casey at the Bat is going to be on this show. We're going to show you a clip of that.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I know where that is, too, you know.
Yeah. I wonder if Bobby does.
I don't know. And number 4 on my list is the Mudville Arch Bridge.
Ooh.
Now, this was one nominated by Mrs. Conway's class at Miller School. What grade was that? Do you know?
I don't know.
Oh, you were awful in school anyways, you know.
If it's Miller School, it's, let me see if I get this correct. Under 5th
Yeah. And
and
over.
over 2nd, 4th.
It sounds like an NFL point.
Under 4th?
Give up.
It sounds like an NFL point spread over under. Anyways, number 5 on my list was Pat's Blueberries, and Beth Brooks nominated that one. And number 6 was Lake Winthrop, the whole lake.
Wow.
And that was by Kevin Connolly.
And
you know why?
I just got a news flash that Mrs. Conway has a 4th grade class. That was all the numbers and the fingers we were being given.
That's why we're doing this show. Yes. So those are my 6. The last one being Kevin Connolly, because the little water does
Kevin
carry
Connolly, yeah, he's a
It's
wonder,
Kevin,
all right.
So, okay.
We just want people to realize that, to pay attention very closely, even though we do a lot of joking around, that the nominations that we're reading tonight, if you happen to send the same one in duplicated, it will not be awarded.
It'll be gone.
Right.
It'll be gone. No ties in this
It'll be
case.
thrown in the circular file. So I think right now, if I understand correctly,
Yes.
have you read all your stuff?
I've read mine. Yep.
Okay. We're going to see one of the clips that we were on your list.
With the town historian.
Yes.
And that'd be?
Joanne Hulbert.
Very good.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Joanne Hulbert, town historian. Here we are at the Metcalf Pump House. It's a wonder, isn't it? Anyway, this pump house has been around for more than 100 years. It's a wonder it's still standing. In 1899, the town of Holliston decided, due to technical advantages in firefighting, that the pump house was no longer needed up here. This was Holliston's outpost as far as firefighting for the western part of town. But they decided, since we had steamers and other better improved methods of firefighting, that the old pump house with a manually operated hand tub was no longer needed. Sad to say, it was closed down in 1899 when the town ceremoniously yanked the phone from the wall of the pump house and took it back downtown. It's a wonder that it's still standing, except for the fact that the Historical Commission has started some renovations in order to keep it around for another 100 years or more.
Wow.
All right.
Where did that phone end up that was yanked off the wall unceremoniously?
I think it's down at Holliston
No.
Antiques.
I think that's Bobby's cell phone, isn't it? That's what it is.
I could probably operate
He's
that.
the only one that still has a bag phone.
Oh,
His cell phone's in a bag.
So, Metcalf Pump House. Very good. Bobby, what's...
And who was the person that called, that sent in the...
Justin Brown.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations to Justin
Congratulations,
then.
Justin.
Yeah.
You'll be getting a shirt soon.
Okay. Do you want to continue?
I did
through
my
your
6.
list?
Oh, you want me to finish mine
Oh,
off?
you might
Okay.
as well.
Oh, hey, I'm
Are
on
we
a
going
roll
too
here.
fast for you?
Okay, I'm at the Woodland Street Trestle, and that was from Sheila Lane,
All right.
John Lane's wife.
Yeah.
Very good. Celebrate Holliston, the Parade and Field Day by Linda Aronian. We've been to many a Celebrate Holliston, right? Yes. Beech Tree at the Historical Society. The beech trees, there's several at the Historical Society. Froomy Burns. Did I pronounce that right?
I
think
believe
so.
that's the way. Yeah.
Hope so for me. Number 10, one of the near and dear to us, a Superette, Kevin Malone. That's definitely a Holliston. That's got to be one of the big ones. Pinecrest Country Club Rock Pile. I've had many Max Fly entitlements at that pile, I want to tell you. And my friend Dennis, too. We've been
You
there
know,
frequently.
it makes Pinecrest more like a miniature golf course.
It does, yeah. The windmill hole is gone. They yanked it off the... But anyway,
they
that
put
was
the
by
rocks.
Debbie Moore.
Debbie Moore.
Well, yeah. And my last but not least was the Bullard Street Cow Tunnel. I must honestly admit, I've never seen this tunnel.
You've never been
I've
down
never
there.
done it. This isn't a joke, is it?
No, we'll have to pull you
And
through.
John Lane. So we got a family affair. Number 7 on my list, and number 12 by the Lanes
If you would
and their cousin Lois.
like to quickly give us a little,
Dissertation?
well, a little bet that you won because of this.
I
and
want a
it's kind of-
six-pack of beer. John is actually from the city, and we were having beer
native?
at the Legion, and I was talking about the cow tunnel, and he says, "You're out of your mind.
Yeah.
There's no such thing for a tunnel for cows to go through." I took him down there, and I showed him it, and I won a six-pack of beer.
Is it really for cows? Or is it the cowling in front of a train?
No, it's
No,
a cow
no.
For
tunnel.
cows.
Yeah.
What, you don't like the light?
No. Give him an easier day, you know?
I'll talk to you later about that. Well, those are my 12.
Right. Well, one thing that I would like to mention, because some of these that we've mentioned are either on private property or are very sensitive as far as environmentally sensitive, that anybody that goes to see these nominations or once the 7 wonders are finally selected need to be conscious of the surroundings, that nothing is damaged in the area where these exist.
Like visiting the Super 8 at 3 o'clock in the morning.
3 o'clock would not be good, right?
Paul would not be happy.
No.
Neither would the
Now,
police.
That would be the same as Fisk's General Store. Now, if Paul and John want to give us keys to the buildings, we would be more than happy to go in there at 3 in the morning. But we do have another one. Now, this is one probably that people wouldn't think would be a 7th wonder of Holliston, because I don't think a lot of people know about this next one that's coming up that we're going to see the clip. But
It's hidden a little.
Which one is that, Bobby?
That is right in Metcalf, too. That'd be considered Metcalf.
Yep.
And that's the Rosary Walk at Fatima Shrine.
so let's go see who's got a little bit of information about that.
Well, 3 Our Fathers and a Hail Mary to get there.
There you
There
go.
we go.
I'm Joanne Hulbert, town historian. Right now I'm here at the Fatima Shrine, one of Holliston's lesser-known parks. For any of you who've been here, you know how beautiful it is year-round. Right now I'm standing near the start of the giant rosary. This was constructed back around the 1960s and was considered to be the largest rosary that is in the world, supposedly. And that's a wonder that certainly gets it on our list for part of the 7 wonders of Holliston. Each stone along this rosary has a different language, which has the rosary written on it. If you've never been here before, I would suggest you come down and have a look. It truly is one of Holliston's great wonders.
That is really something spectacular for the people who have not seen that.
Yeah, that's a real hidden gem.
It's definitely, it's a hidden gem, although a lot of these that we're going to see today are hidden gems that a lot of people probably don't realize exist in town. But that is one that people need to go up and see and get the actual, I mean, you could see how big the rock was that she was standing on, but each individual bead is huge, too.
And is a different language on each one?
I believe there is. And then there's also the chain. There's an anchor that starts the rosary, and then the chain that connects the rocks. My understanding is it was given by the United States Navy to hold all the rocks together. Wow. So that was, and as you can see, the weather wasn't ideal, but we had a lot of fun doing this. The Rosary Walk, by the way, I believe is on your list again, and was given by...
Right. 3rd grade CCD class, and the teachers are Jenny Murphy, and Teresa Lampkin.
Having a little problem with that Irish name?
Sure as Bigora.
Oh, Jenny. Hey, aye, my. I have the next group that I'll be reading.
Okay.
The next 6 is the Candy Cottage, nominated by Jack Brooks. Bragville was nominated by George Campasol. I'm surprised they didn't just give us Camposol's Field, the dairy. Highland Street Tunnel by John Greendale. The Soccer Fields at Marshall Street by Bruce Baldwin. Jasper's Rock by Jim Robshaw. And Goodwill Park by Gene Mueller. So that's the next 6, and which will bring us into a clip of the next...
We're going down to see Casey at the Bat in Mudville.
Oh, for God's sake.
Geez.
Yeah.
That's
I
in your
know right
neighborhood.
where it is, so well.
Were the lights on when we were there?
Joanne's going to meet me down there, and away we go.
Hi, I'm Joanne, Hulbert, town historian, and here I am with the mayor of Mudville. We're in the heart of Mudville right now, right in front of Casey's statue. Now, story has it that the poem Casey at the Bat was written about this Mudville. I think it was. I got enough historical evidence to prove that Casey at the Bat was written about this Mudville. What do you think?
I'm sure of it.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, how could it be anything else? We know for sure that this is like the only Mudville anywhere around, right?
It's the first
It's the first one, that's right. And not only that, do you know how many baseball players lived in Mudville? A lot of them.
Tons.
Tons. John McGinnis over there. The Connell brothers over there. How about Andy Curran played for the Outlaw League in 1906? Hey, you know, down there, what about the three Honey brothers? You know the Honey brothers?
On Peddler's Lane,
Yes,
of course.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yes, that's Mudville. That's Mudville.
That sure is
They
Mudville.
were all here. So we have absolute proof that actually Casey at the Bat was written about this Mudville. There's no wonder about it. We know. That's it.
Roger, did you happen to notice that Bobby had the same outfit on that he has on today?
He didn't have a tie, though. He didn't have a tie,
I know.
no.
Change
No, and that was filmed not quite a week ago. And I was wondering. Well, my next six are the another one that I feel that a lot of people don't realize about, and we're going to see that today, is the Thomas Hollis Bible. That was nominated by the Tuesday morning group at the Congregational Church. I'm not sure what the Tuesday morning group does, but that's who nominated that one. The next one is Holliston Antiques by Katie DeRoges. Flag Field by Andrew DeRoges. So that was a family affair there. Lake Grove Cemetery by Millie Campasol. Outpost Farm, Katie Connors. Oh, is Katie?
Katie.
I don't want to say
No.
And the Holliston Public Library by Chris Lawless.
All right.
Good.
So that's you did 12.
That's your list.
I did 12. There's
You did-
24.
There
We
you
got
go.
more coming.
Well, we're gonna. I think we're gonna have another clip right now,
gonna
and
head out
we
to the
still
road.
Yeah.
we're back in Mudville again.
We're staying in Mudville, and we're going right around the corner
From Casey.
to the Arch Bridge. And
Okay.
my great uncle jumped off the Arch
Did he
Bridge,
really?
trying to hit a hay wagon.
I like trying
How
to.
did they go?
He missed. He missed. And
Now that he's about 4 inches shorter, too.
he forever walked with a bobbing head.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, so let's-
So away we go, and we'll meet Joanne.
I'm Joanne Hulbert, town historian. Here I am at the Arch Street Bridge. It's in Mudville. Actually, once you pass through this bridge, you enter into Mudville through the arch. It's quite a wonder, isn't it? According to some people, they say that this bridge is listed in the Guinness Book of World Records as the smallest bridge to go under a railroad through which a vehicle can pass. Although I've looked it up, I can't find it. Next time you get a copy of the book, you check it out. Maybe it's in there, maybe I missed it. It is small. Only little cars can get through here. None of the trucks from the highway department that's over here at Mudville through the arch. They have to come through here with the sidewalk plow in order to plow it. It's that small. It's a lovely little structure, and I wonder whether or not you might think so too.
And this was Mrs. Conway's class
Yes, that was one
nomination.
Yeah. That's a fun bridge there, I tell
It
you.
is a fun bridge.
Not falling arches.
We couldn't get a Funway bus under there, I'll tell you that. Although they probably could.
Once.
Yeah.
I'm going to read off my list now
Well, okay,
because
go
we
ahead.
have plenty more coming in.
All right.
And we have the Holliston Cranberries sent in by Brad Lingham, Fairbanks Property by Michelle Zemer, and that'd be up by the town forest, I believe.
Yeah.
Right? Goodwill Shoe by George Snow, and this is a surprise, Town Hall by Paul LeBeau.
Oh.
His domain, yes.
Metcalf Pump House by Justin Brown, and Broad Hill Vineyard by Betsy Varga. And that's 6 from me, so we're going to take you back out on the road again.
Where are we going?
And we're staying right in Mudville.
Oh,
And the fishing is great there, if that's a little hint.
Yeah.
I saw some good pickerel coming out of there recently, and
Out of
some
the faucet?
bass.
No.
So we're going to take you away, and a little history about Lake Winthrop with Joanne.
Hi, I'm Joanne Hulbert, town historian. Here I am standing on Lake Winthrop. Luckily the ice is pretty good today. Now, Lake Winthrop is considered to be a great pond officially, which means, among other things, that the islands that are here in the middle of Lake Winthrop belong to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. I don't know whether the governor is maybe going to come and stay over here for some summer vacation. Other people in its history of this pond did used to do that. One of the more notable summer vacationers who stayed here was a man who was named Watessa Component. He was an Indian who spent summers out on an island here at Lake Winthrop. The island no longer exists. It fell beneath the waves after he was hanged during King Philip's War. Now, apparently, only one little rock from that island still exists. And if you do walk out there or go out there by rowboat, no motorboats please, you go out there, you can find the one rock that remains from Watessa Component's little island where he used to spend his summer vacations. Now, this is a wonderful little lake. It is not man-made, but it is made by glaciers millions and millions of years ago. So come on down here sometime, especially during the summer. It's a great place, close to home. It's a wonderful place in Holliston.
See, it's true. Joanne can walk on water. Right?
And I'll tell you what, let's throw this in for anybody that emails
Yeah.
Holliston Cable Access to tell us what Joanne's title is.
Oh,
Okay?
okay.
And if you don't know what it is, you're living under a rock. Let me tell you.
Yeah. Well, it's really interesting, though. I'd asked if it was a man-made lake, and she said right in the end, this is no, it's not man-made, made by the glaciers.
Yeah.
They like the Druids?
There was a group of women, I think. The glaciers,
right.
there was a woman.
We're going to take you down now where something was man-made, and it's still in Mudville, and it's right back down the road on Water Street.
Everything old is in Mudville. I don't know. Go ahead.
That's where Bobby lives.
Yes, there we
I
go.
grew up there.
There you go.
So
That's
where,
right, you did.
where are we heading?
We're going back down to Water Street to what was known as Goodwill Shoe. It's now known as Water Street Mill, and Joanne's going to tell us about it.
All right, Joanne.
Hi, I'm Joanne Hulbert, town historian. I bet you're wondering where I am right now. Well, I'm on Water Street at the Water Street Mill. This building was built in 1891, and at the time that it was built, it was considered to be an innovative piece of industrial architecture. Wonder why there's so many windows in it? Well, they decided that every worker should have his own window to look out of. A lot of workers were entered into this building during its time. We built shoes here. Arthur Williams, who came from Cochituate, stopped in here, saw the building, and decided that it was best for his needs. And he moved here from Cochituate, set up shop, and he became famous for innovations in industrial footwear. The steel-toed boot was built here in large quantities and were sent throughout the world. Other types of shoes were also built here besides the steel-toed boot. One of them, which was most famous, was for a boxer named Primo Carnero. He had apparently extremely large feet and needed to have special footwear made. Other things that came on in this building over the years have gone on for a long period of time besides just the shoes. Now we have a lot of startup companies here, a lot of artists that now populate this building and put out all kinds of artistic works and other things. It's a wonder, but that should be something that Holliston's proud of.
That's an amazing building.
It is.
Yeah.
And I know Primo Carnera. That was my father's favorite wrestler when
Really?
I was a kid. Yeah.
Oh,
Bet you
for
didn't know
God's
that.
Showing
sake.
your age.
Primo's first. You show my age.
We're going to take you out of Mudville now.
Oh,
Believe it or not.
finally.
Finally
Finally.
gonna
We
take
can see
you up.
electricity now?
Out of Mudville. Yeah. Although, This next place does have a little something to do with Mudville. We're going down to Woodland Street and see the 8 arches in the trestle. And actually right across the street was the Darwin Woolen Mill,
Oh, really?
of which E.L. Thayer, who wrote Casey at the Bat,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
this
okay.
was his mother's family who had the Darwin Woolen Mill.
Does Joanne know you know all of this?
I think she does.
Gee.
He read Joanne's book.
That's what it is.
Everybody asks me if I'm running for office. I'm going to run for her office.
Okay, town hysteria.
Ooh, oh, man.
Away we go, Joanne.
Did you say historian or hysterian?
We're going to take her right up to the top of the arch.
All right.
Away you go, Joanne.
Hi, I'm Joanne Hulbert, town historian. Here I am up on top of the Arch Bridge. It's a pretty long way down there. Anyway, this bridge was built in 1847. It was part of the railway that connected Framingham to Milford. That was how you used to get there back in those days. But this bridge was the gap between this brook, Bogastow Brook, and the other old Bogastow Brook was over there. And they didn't want to fill this in because there was a large mill here, and they had the water rights. So instead, they built this large bridge across the gap. It's been here since 1847. Looks like it should stand up here for a while longer, don't you think? It is truly one of the greatest wonders that Holliston has.
That is absolutely a beautiful
Piece of work.
Yeah, it really is.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
That one there. It has that big piece of cement on the bottom. It's just
Well, the big piece of cement was not actually for the...
no, but
yeah.
there's a pipe or something that goes through that.
Well, there's a culvert that goes underneath the road there from the waterfalls was where the mill stood, what that Bobby was telling you about. But the 1920 actual headstone there is...
That's the bridge.
That's just for the bridge when that was built.
Now,
that's not for the arches.
Is the town own that bridge now? I mean, who takes care of the maintenance? Is there any
The
Well,
highway has...
CSX, I believe, owns the
rail line there?
Yeah,
Right.
so they own that bridge.
Is it in decent? I've never been up on it.
No,
Is
it's
it in
pretty
decent
good.
shape, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and then I think one of the biggest problems that the Trails Committee is going to have is when they put the trail through,
How do you
they're
guard
going to have to
Fence
put
it in.
some sort
fence,
of
yeah.
fencing so that it doesn't detract from the beauty of the.
Yeah, that
of
is
the
really,
bridge.
that's nice.
And if you notice, Joanne was the town historian. Was,
really?
was out of breath because she had to climb up the hill to get up to the thing.
I think she had to dodge the 940 out of Bellingham.
She got up to the top of the bridge. We told her that she forgot to bring up her bungee cord, so she had to walk back down again.
So, Bobby, what?
We're going to take you back uptown now. And surprisingly enough, it took a long time for this nomination to come in. I would have thought that maybe it would be 4 or 5 or 1.
Yeah.
But
Before we go there, though, we were talking before off camera. There's a lot of places that haven't been nominated,
Right.
that we thought would have been
A lot
nominated.
of obvious
So
ones. Yeah,
obvious ones.
great.
Very
Pay
obvious.
attention.
That's why people, what we'll do is we'll review at
On
the
the
end
end.
of the show what we have for nominations so that people realize
Yeah.
and they go, oh, it hasn't been nominated yet.
So get on
so
and get in
get
there.
it, right,
Yeah.
get it in as soon as possible.
Where are we going?
This probably wouldn't be a bad time, by the way, to have the graphic up for where they can send in to Holliston Net News, email in to Holliston Net News.
But you normally do that. How are you going to do that? Do you have a remote you can do that?
I'm gonna beam myself out there. It's
Oh, look
right
at
there.
that.
It is right now.
Good grief.
The email submissions are to 7wonders@hollistonetnews.com.
pretty simple.
And I give you the Holliston Cable Access website, but
You can never remember
I can't
it.
remember.
So where are we going to head, Robert?
We're going to back uptown.
Yes.
And the most obvious place many of us don't like to go, like the first day of February or the first day of May, is to pay our taxes. And this is the building that we pay our taxes in.
Let me guess.
The other 4 quarters you don't mind?
Well, no. I don't want Mary getting
The
mad
other
at
2
me.
quarters you don't mind.
Right.
This is interesting. I went to school in this building in 6th grade. And when
Really?
They ran out of classrooms in town.
Were you in chains? Is that what you meant?
Well,
We wouldn't let them up the hill because I was up at Cutler.
Oh.
We kept Bobby down at the town.
So this is the town hall then. I'm looking forward to this one.
Hi, once again, I'm Joanne, Hulbert, town historian, and today I'm standing at the front door of Holliston's Town Hall. Now this town hall has been here for over 150 years. It replaced the old townhouse that the town had outgrown, and it's quite a lovely building. The architect for this building was Edwin Payson, and he was a local Holliston boy who made good by going to Boston, learning architecture, and had been involved in building a lot of the significant buildings in Boston as well. But he came back to Holliston and contributed this building to our town. It's a lovely building. For anybody who's been in there for various reasons, you could be paying your taxes, your water bill, or coming to a selectmen's meeting. Over the years, this was the place where you came for town meetings, for elections, and also the upstairs large hall up there was where all of the entertainments went on. There were variety shows, minstrel shows, parties of all sorts. Even high school graduations were held up here. It's truly one of Holliston's beautiful architectural wonders.
Used to be basketball games, from what I understand, upstairs in the
Right,
town hall.
when the high school was up on the hill,
Yep.
the gym was actually the upstairs of the town hall, and that's
But I
where
mean,
they had the
they had
basketball
teams
games.
touring all around through Middlesex County and everything coming in, didn't they?
Well, that's where I'm not sure about that, but that's where the high school team played their games against
okay.
the other teams, in the area.
And if you get a chance, folks, stop in there because it's been renovated. The whole town hall, if you haven't had a chance, if you're new to the town, haven't had a chance for the town hall, it's in tremendous shape. Especially upstairs in that hall with those big giant windows. It's just, they've done a nice job. Town's done a really good job with that.
And that was nominated by our own town administrator, Paul LeBeau. There you go.
Why don't I read off a few more here on my list? The 1928 Maxim fire truck. You should know all about that. You used to own that.
I did. That was actually Holliston's first motorized pumper.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, what year?
1928.
And that was sent in by John Gagnon, but we have to mention that it's owned by Jim Martin now.
That's correct.
And he's building a new garage in Mudville.
To house that,
it.
to put it back in Mudville.
Right.
And I bought it from the town, so I was the second owner of the truck, and now Jim Martin's the third owner.
And it's made by Maxim. Where's Maxim?
In Middleborough, Massachusetts.
Well, and it's still there, is it? Is it?
Middleborough. It's
Maxim?
now Middleborough Fire Apparatus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And the next submission we had, Hydrant 3. Have you ever seen Hydrant 3?
No, but I think my dog did a couple times. You know. Seriously, what is Hydrant 3?
And that was set in by Jim Martin. Hydrant 3
What
is
is?
the old hand pump in town.
I didn't know we had one.
Were you paying attention to the town historian when she told you?
The Metcalf
about
pump
the
house.
Metcalf
Yeah,
pump
but
house?
it's inside.
No, it's not housed there. It's down the old foundry.
Oh, how would I know they moved it?
Have you read the book?
I'm waiting for the movie. Okay.
And the next one is the Asa Whiting House and Barn.
Oh,
This is different than the beech trees in front of the Historical Society. The Asa Whiting House is the Historical Society and the barn.
They've got another one there. They got that other shed there, which was the corn barn, wasn't it?
Very good.
How about that?
Wow.
You're
Like
picking
that?
up. And that was sent in by Paul Solnier. And this one, my father sent in.
Oh,
Everett.
top of the morning to you.
How is Everett, my boy?
He's grand. The Wilder Pump Shop in East Holliston. And
Oh, I know what it is. By Bertucci's, yes. Okay.
Very good.
Do you know what they made in there?
Pumps.
Very good.
I think make nice little yellow ones and little purses that go with it. That kind of pump. Not that kind of pump. Sorry.
And next is the Arch Tunnel. This is not the
Ah,
Arch Street
okay.
Bridge.
Wait a minute. No.
This
I
is
have no
the
idea.
Arch Tunnel,
I have no idea where that
which
is.
the town canal flows through. And
No, we had a canal.
well, we do.
Yeah.
It's not as big as the Erie, but it's
Right. It's very eerie.
actually this is located behind David Burke's house.
That is.
On Union Street. Most people don't see it.
Not only you don't see it, but I don't even know where it is.
If you can, actually, the best
Where-
location
Yeah.
to see it from is
Water
from Water Street. At the end of the parking lot for the Water Street Mill,
Yeah.
it's right there, the brook that goes
Oh,
under the
okay,
street.
yeah.
You can see the
I think after all this is done, we should, if viewers would write in, we'll have Bobby do, and you do
well,
a
we're
tour.
going to have...
We're
Walk
having
all
a
around.
Seven
We'll
Wonders
have
bus
that,
tour.
let me
Oh,
tell you.
okay,
But-
good.
Already planned.
And the other
Okay.
thing, too, is that
I didn't get the
I
memo.
should just let you know that I did tell the mayor this, that it was many years ago that me and the Shea boys actually canoed the Winthrop Canal and went under this tunnel.
Did you really?
Yes.
Is that Tippecanoe? Keep reading, Bobby. You're encouraging.
Okay,
Who was that sent in by the way?
That was sent in by Brett Morrison.
All right.
And I have one more on my list
All
here.
right.
And this is the Town Hall Horse Trough.
Oh.
And that was sent in. All she has to do is look out her window, Donna Muzzy,
Oh,
at Town Hall. And it's now used as a planter.
a planter for the horse trough.
Right.
And I bet this is queued up perfectly. If we go to another clip with that girl there, I don't know whatever her name is,
title.
what she is, we're going to see the horse trough right now.
Away we
right.
go.
Hi, I'm Joanne Hulbert. I'm standing here with the Old Town Fountain. It was purchased by funds that were raised by several of the women's organizations in Holliston. At that time, most of these little beautification projects in Holliston were put together by the women of Holliston, but that's another wonder for another time. But this beautiful old water fountain had originally stood in the middle, if you can imagine, in the middle of the intersection at Hollis and Washington Street. I wonder why they put it there. Didn't last very long. This was part of the project when we had our water system put into town. They thought perhaps it was a little classier than just having the old pump that was out in front of Town Hall. Kind of an upgrade, as it were. Anyway, it was connected into the town water supply. Didn't last very long. Within 6 months, they found out it wasn't really working all that well. It started out its later existence as a planter. Soon after, they decided to move it out of the road and place it along the side of Washington Street. Now it stands at the side of the town hall. It's a better location here, well taken care of, and still leading out in existence as a planter.
Well, she fooled us on that one.
I know, she didn't
Did
give
we
her
take her title away from her?
I think we're going to get a letter from her.
I'll bet you neither of you know what type of granite that was made out of.
We
I
take
do.
it for granted. Well, wait a minute. What, Hopkinton? Did it come from Hopkinton?
No.
Oh.
Pink granite from Milford?
Very good.
There you
Very
go.
good.
Really?
Hey, laddie.
Now, how old was it? I didn't quite catch. Do you know how old it is?
1891.
Oh, the same year
As a matter of-
as the building, as the shoe building.
Very good.
Really?
He's
See, I'm
paying
paying
attention.
attention. I'm paying attention.
Okay, next we're going to take you right next door.
Next door. Okay. So
Next door.
we've been to the town hall, so it has to be the Congregational Church.
Very good.
Okay.
And we're going to tell you about a gift to the town. Take it away, Joanne.
Hi, I'm Joanne Hulbert, town historian. Today I'm at the Congregational Church, and here in this case is the Hollis Bible. Now in 1724, when Holliston was founded, it was named by the Great and General Court of Massachusetts. They decided they would name the town Holliston, which they incorporated at that point, because Thomas Hollis, a merchant of London, had left 1,500 pounds to Harvard College to found a divinity school. And they were so thrilled with that that they decided they would honor him by naming a town after him. Of course, Thomas Hollis found out about this, and he was so thrilled with it also that he sent as a thank you this Bible. Now, this poor Bible, though, didn't always spend all its time here at the Congregational Church. Many years later, its general value and worth was not considered to be so great anymore, and it languished over at the town poor farm for a number of years until in 1875, Reverend Tucker, realizing that this was the Hollis Bible that was given to the church at that time, realized its value and brought it back here to the Congregational Church, where it now sits here in this case in its rightful place as it deserves.
All right. Good. There's the
I've
Bible.
never heard her so soft.
She was in a church.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Was that the first time?
You wouldn't recognize that, you
Was
guys.
that-
It was inside the church.
Was that the first time?
But that's pretty neat, though. That original Bible. It's in
Yeah.
a case. Must be in a case.
It's in a wooden glass case.
Yeah.
And it's very, very fragile, from what I understand.
I'm
I've
sure
never
it's-
actually touched it. But
No comment. No comment.
no,
We won't go there.
No, no.
Okay.
No.
So we've got one more.
We've got one more.
This is it.
It's right downtown. This is a place, actually, you and I grew up
Playing up there.
playing at this park.
Yeah, I never was there, though, when you guys were growing up. Was I?
No, no, no. You were much older than us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were hanging around with our parents.
Oh, last night was your grandparents. So where are we going?
We used to come down over the cliff to this place, Goodwill Park. And, geez, do you remember when the bonfire burned?
I do. That reminds me. I think it was the 250th. If I could.
No. That
Was it just a?
No, the American Legion had a festival in town,
Okay.
which is, I don't think Joanne has it in her book, but it was in 1962.
Okay.
And it was for the 225th anniversary of the town, which the town didn't have because it came right after World War II. I believe it would have been 1949. We just had gotten out of a war. Pretty soon we'd be in another war, and the townspeople weren't up to it. So in 1962, they had a celebration, and they I remember them going down the laneway on Prospect Street with the railroad ties. They get off the railroad, I guess, over to the side, and they built this thing. And at noontime on that day, the bonfire went up, and it wasn't supposed to go up till 6 o'clock at night.
It was daylight saving day.
And I was down below at the park, and I ran to Henry Carey, Sam Scoots Carey, and to tell him, and Gladys Carey was there. I says, quick, call the fire station. Bonfire's on fire. And she did. But I always thought that bonfire was being set off because it was on my birthday, July 3rd, 1962. And,
You were 12 years old.
Actually, they went up and put it out. It was a big charcoal. And that evening, your father came up with the oil truck, and I think they sprayed it down with kerosene. God knows what the Board of Health would say nowadays.
Conservation.
And and they put a match to it, and poof, up it went.
back up
And
It's a hazmat site.
Right.
Well, you continued the tradition with the bonfires for the high school Thanksgiving game. Yeah. I remember the fuel oil. Would it be going into the pile or help
An
fight the fire?
incendiary, we
Yes,
used to call it, right.
But anyways,
That bonfire, not to get too far off the track here, had to be 40 or 50 feet in the air.
Oh, yeah.
It was huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely huge.
And they were afraid the barn next door would go up, so the fire department was up there hosing down the barn.
yeah, but folks,
that be
every year the
Kempton's?
fire
That was
gets
Kempton's
taller
barn.
and taller and taller. Let's go to Goodwill Park.
Let's go to Goodwill.
Hi, I'm Joanne Hulbert, town historian. I'm standing here at Goodwill Park on the old stone bleachers. These bleachers were built here in 1924 as part of the 200th anniversary of the town of Holliston. They're still good, and you can still see a ball game here. Matter of fact, there have been ball games that have been played on this field since at least 1874. Town of Clinton, out there towards Worcester, said that they had the oldest ball field since 1876. Not so. Holliston has them beat by at least 2 years. Goodwill Park, still a great place to see a ball game.
An old field. Now, those are granite seats.
Those are.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're not railroad ties there. Railroad ties were burned in the field.
They were burned on the cliff.
On top of the cliff.
Oh, okay, so 1925.
24.
24. Okay. I've been paying attention, honestly. Good grief. So that is the oldest
Did you
ball
have the
field.
nurse come out?
I am the town of confusion. No. But that's terrific. So we've done, how many did we do today?
11 today.
We did
11
11.
today.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
But why don't we take the opportunity now, and we'll start with you.
Recap.
Do you
who we
remember
have?
who you are?
Yes, I do. Yeah. I'm from Mudville. No. Number one I had was Fisk. That's been nominated by Holliston Net News. Casey at the bat, which we saw today with Chris Beeling. Balancing Rock, which we saw once before by M. Wah. We saw that one of the first shows. The Mudville Arch Bridge we saw tonight, and that was nominated by Mrs. Conway's class, Miller School, 4th grade. Pat's Blueberries, Beth Brooks. Lake Winthrop by Kevin Connolly. We saw the H2O Lake Frozen. Woodland Street Trestle by Sheila Lane, Carl and I's favorite down there. Celebrate Holliston Parade and Field Day by Linda Aronian. The Beech Trees at the Historical Society, Froomy Burns. The Superette, Kevin Malone. Pinecrest Country Club, Rock Pile, Debbie Moore. And last but not least for me, the Bullitt Street Cow Tunnel, which I will be exploring soon, by John Lane. What do you have, Carl?
Well, I had a visual there of you in the cow tunnel.
Thank you. It's no bull.
I have Candy Cottage by Jack Brooks, Bragville, entire area of Bragville by George Camposol, the Highland Street Tunnel by John Greendale, the Soccer Fields at Marshall Street by Bruce Baldwin, Jasper's Rock by Jim Robshaw, Goodwill Park, which we saw tonight, by Gene Muller. I got it right this time. The Thomas Hollis Bible, which we saw this evening, was nominated by the Tuesday Morning Group at the Congregational Church. Is that an open membership? You know?
Have you got Tuesday mornings on?
Yeah,
Right there.
I could make a point of it. Holliston Antiques by Katie DeRoses. Flag Field by Andrew DeRoses. Lake Grove Cemetery by Millie Camposol. Outpost Farm by Katie Connors. And the Public Library by Chris O. Lawless.
Very well done.
Oh, thank you.
I have Holliston Cranberries by Brad Lingham, Fairbanks Property by Michelle Zemer, Goodwill Shoe by George Snow, Town Hall by Paul LeBeau, Metcalf Pump House by Justin Brown, Broad Hill Vineyard, Betsy Varga, Rosary at Fatima Shrine by the 3rd grade CCD class, 1928 Maxim Fire Truck by John Gagnon, Hydrant 3 by Jim Martin, Asa Whiting House and the Barn by Paul Solnier. I always have a hard time with his Paul
Solnier.
Right? Yeah.
He's
What?
Irish, that's why.
Oh, I guess so. Wilder Pump Shop by my dad, Everett Blair, Arch Tunnel, and that's the water tunnel, not to be confused with the Arch Street Bridge. Brett Morrison, and the Town Hall Horse Trough by Donna Muzzy.
All right, now, we want to give people a little bit of ground rules here. What we're going to do is we're going to continue, and we'll have another show shortly. So we want you to make sure that you keep sending the nominations in, because as we referred tonight to the ones that we mentioned, that there are still a lot of obvious ones out there that have not been mentioned, that are both man-made or natural. And we want to tell people that in the middle of April, what we will do is we have a panel of judges that are sealed, hermetically sealed in a mayonnaise jar up at Tom Murphy's house on Highland Street. And that group will make the selection down to the semifinalists of 15. From that semifinalists of 15 around the end of April, what we will do is we will give you those 15 on a show. We will recap the ones that we've done, and we will also give you the 15 semifinalists. And then at that time, people will be able to write in either by email or they can send into the, we would rather have them just email into Holliston News rather than have 2 locations. But if for some reason somebody doesn't do email, we want to give them the opportunity that they could probably call in their nominations. Does Holliston News has a phone number?
We're going to have an interactive vote on Holliston News.
Okay.
Where out of them 15 or so, they'll pick 7, and it'll come down to the 7 wonders.
All right.
Holliston.
And when will the 7 wonders actually be named?
Probably.
We're still wondering.
Yeah, we'll have to ask the town historian. But it looks like
What was that?
Joanne.
Joanne.
I'm not sure. We're probably looking at the middle of May. We will have the final selection of the announcement of the 7 Wonders of Holliston.
Of course, depending upon how many more people send their nominations in.
Well, we've done quite a few. We've done 37, but actually there's been
We've
more
got
than
13
30.
done.
Well, there's more than 37 because some people have nominated twice.
Right.
Right.
Two different people, the same thing then.
Right.
But look around town. There's
There's a lot of stuff. There's
plenty
a lot
of
of
obvious
ones.
places.
That one's, yeah, that list we
No,
put
no.
together, there are a couple.
No.
I won't say
Don't
anything.
give 'em away.
Well,
Oh,
there's the.
God, Mom.
Do you remember the?
No, Mom's the word.
You guys swam through. No, I don't. So, till the next show, are we done? I gotta go. I gotta get to that cow tunnel. I gotta get.
We're going to bring.
You could use the beach straight.
So,
Well, this is a lot of fun. It's very interesting. If nothing else, we're getting quite a history lesson of Holliston from the town historian, and we want to thank everybody that's participated at this point, and we want to make sure that we have more
Yeah.
people that write in.
and Joanne, thanks an awful lot. She does a terrific job.
does.
And,
She's
and of
a-
course, the crew here, Dennis and Bobby, and everybody out
Yeah.
that's been out filming.
Dennis,
Allison Gable.
Dennis has been doing a great job. And Lisa is our audio person that went out in the field with us.
And we got Herb in
had
here
her out
doing-
there. We have Herb
the audio
here
now.
helping us out, Bob Nemeth. But I was just going to tell you quickly that I had a little lesson on the editing machine today, and I'm ready to go.
You're ready to go. He's ready to go crazy.
I'm ready to get thrown out.
So we're going to have another show come up soon.
Very
so
soon.
Keep
So
an eye.
And maybe the snow will be off the ground. You know, it gets a little
so that
tricky out
people can
there.
see the actual beauty.
That's right.
Holliston.
Yes.
I don't know if the green leaves will be out yet, but
We
Well,
could always take them off of the spaghetti tree.
that's
and
right.
we
It's
could
still
glue
in
'em
front of
on.
my house.
I think
Would you
that-
please come down again?
That's about
There's
it.
a nomination.
Yeah, well,
Okay, folks, till
Okay.
the next show, this is Roger Gandini, not the town historian.
And Carl Damigella.
and Bobby Blair.
See ya.